This is everything you need to know about building your first Magic the Gathering deck in 2 minutes or less. One of the single most common questions, comments, DMs that I get is how do I build my first Magic deck? I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, just where do I start? One really important distinction is that there's lots of ways to play Magic. You can learn to play with 60 card decks in 1v1. Magic Arena, just like the online version of Magic, is one of the best ways you can learn. But the most common way to play Magic is Commander. 100 card decks with a Commander in the command zone. It's super fun, it's the most social way to play Magic, and if you have a friend group who plays Magic, they're probably playing Commander. And so for Commander, you're building a 100 card deck with no more than one copy of any card in the deck, with a legendary creature as the main character of the deck, right? The cards in this deck can only have the colors in the top right corner of this card, so red, white, and black. They don't have to all have that, but they can't have any other colors in their mana symbols. And so the next question is, what Commander do you pick? Well, the answer to that question is whichever one you want. Whichever Commander you think is cool is a great place to start. There's no such thing as a good Commander or a bad Commander. They're all fun and unique in their own ways. For new players, I personally really like recommending pre-constructed decks that can be bought off the shelf. These are going to be available at Target, Walmart, your local game store, anywhere. Customization is one of the most fun parts of Magic, and as cool as it is to play against someone's deck and be like, oh, I want to add that cool card that I got beaten by, which is great, I actually think the decks off the shelf are not only really well made, they're very powerful. Quick reminder that all my content is brought to you by the good folks over at Dragon Shield. I've been using their products for years. If you ever need any Dragon Shield products, use my name, Ben Bateman, at checkout for 5% off your order. You can just hit that link in my bio. One of the best resources when you're building your Commander deck is EDHREC.com. This is a database that lists tons of Commander decks, the full deck list that will show you the highest synergy cards with that Commander, the newest cards that work with that Commander, the most popular by each type. Sometimes I like to wait to go look at EDHREC until I've kind of built some of my own deck, because it will give me a lot of ideas, and I like to come up with those ideas myself. But if you don't know what cards are out there and you need the ideas, it's a great place to start. Another great trick is to remember that if you're building a Commander, look at the colors in that Commander's color identity and think about other Commanders that have the same one. So if you're building Y'shtola, you can look at those EDHREC deck lists for popular blue, white, black Commanders, and you'll probably get a lot of really cool ideas. One other thing that I think a lot of people just don't acknowledge enough is how important playing your Commander deck is. This is one of the parts of using a pre-constructed deck off the shelf that's so interesting, right? This is just a recommended list of 100 cards. So if you play 3 or 4 of the cards in here and you don't think they're very good, swap them out. There's nothing wrong with that. The more times you play it, the more refined you're going to get a sense of the deck, and that's going to help you build the deck. Don't be embarrassed to play a deck and do badly. Commander is a casual format. It's a social format. You're not supposed to win every game. Comment below if this video is helpful to you or anybody else getting into Magic and you want to see a part 2 with more deck building resources. And of course, hit that follow button if you like Magic content.